Hi, welcome to Fusion Beads. Today I'm going to show you how to make our Just Peachy earring and bracelet set. Let's take a look at the products and tools we'll need to make them. So I'm going to go over the product that we're using for both the earring and the bracelet set here. So to go over for the earring first, we're using the 4mm silk Swarovski Crystal Bicone bead. Then I have a 6mm light peach Swarovski Crystal Bicone bead. I have the 6.2mm peach DeLite Swarovski Crystal Chaton. And then I have the 15mm antique gold organic mini circle bezels by Nunn Design. I have a 21 gauge 2-inch eye pin, and then I've got a 14mm gold-filled ear wire with a bead by TierraCast. And then for the product that is for our bracelet, we have 4mm light peach AB Swarovski Crystal Bicones. Then I've got a 5mm silk Swarovski Crystal Bicone beads. And then I've got 6mm light peach Swarovski Crystal Bicone beads. I have the 6.2mm Peach DeLite Swarovski Crystal Chaton. I've got the 15mm Antique Gold Organic Mini Circle Bezels by Nunn Design. I have an 8-inch Antique Gold Pewter Rope Textured Charm Bracelet with a toggle by Nunn Design. Then I've got some 6mm Antique Gold Bark Textured Jump Rings by Nunn Design. And then I've got 21 gauge gold 2-inch head pins. For my tools today, I will be using chain nose. I've got round nose. I have wire cutters. I have some E6000 to glue my chatons into my bezel. And then I've got a couple of toothpicks. You can find links to all these beads and supplies in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the bracelet first, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all the little Peach DeLite chatons and glue them into the bezels first, and then we'll start constructing the bracelets. So to glue them in the bezel, I'm just going to use a little bit of the E6000, and I just like to take a little bit and just put some on a little piece of plastic or a Post-it, just something that you can have it to work off of. And then you're going to take a toothpick and you're just going to grab a small amount and make sure that you don't have any strings hanging off, because it is a little stringy. Then you're going to pick up your bezel. I always like to hold the bezel onto the loop, and then I'm just going to swirl the E6000 inside there. I need a little bit more. You don't need a whole lot, but you need enough there just to kind of coat that inner part. And try not to get it on the sides of the bezel or anything. You just want it to be on the inner part there. If you get any on the side, you can kind of just use your nail and kind of wipe it off there. And then you're going to pick up your chaton, and then you're just going to gently set that in place. And then I just give it a little press there to make sure it's nice and seated in. You just want to make sure you don't put too much glue in the bottom, because if you do, when you press your chaton down, it will kind of squirt out the sides, and then it is pretty messy, and you'll see it on the face of your crystal. So just put a little bit. So I have that one, and it will, the E6000 will start to get tacky in about 2 minutes, and it sets up pretty good in about 10, and fully cures in about, I think, 24 to 48 hours. So these ones, already got a bunch done for my bracelet here, and they're already set up and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling my charm bracelet. And I'm just using the pre-made charm bracelet by Nunn Design. So I'm just going to start on the toggle bar end. So I'm going to go ahead and go in the third ring here. So you count even this little jump ring. So it's just 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be the fourth ring I guess actually in that we're going to attach our first little bezel. So I'm just going to grab a jump ring and my chain nose pliers here. And this jump ring is already pretty open. But to open the jump ring, you just want to pull one side towards you and one side away from you to open it up. Then I'm going to go ahead and thread on the loop of my bezel there. And then I'm just going to attach that to the ring on the charm bracelet, the fourth ring in there. And then to close your jump ring, you're just going to bring the ends together back and forth until you get that nice snap, and then it's closed. And there we have our first bezel on there. So then we're going to skip one ring, and this next ring we're just going to add some bicones. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little simple loop with the 6mm light peach bicone. So just go ahead and slide your bicone onto your head pin. And you want to go ahead and make a 90-degree bend. And what I normally do is I just put my thumbnail right above the bead and then bend it over at a nice 90 so I get that nice sharp edge. Then I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to trim the majority of the wire off, just leaving a little tail, just enough to make a simple loop. You do want to make sure that you make your loop big enough so that it will go around the link here on your charm bracelet, because it is a little chunkier. So just make sure you don't make your loops too small. So I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to grab right at the tip, making sure no wires coming through there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and roll it back into a simple loop. So I've got my little simple loop there. It's ready to go. Sometimes you might need to adjust it just so it's sitting nice and straight on top there. This one did need a little adjusting. And now I'm just going to take my chain nose and I'm just going to move the loop to the side to open it up, and making sure I'm leaving one ring in between my chaton and my bicones, and I'm just going to go ahead and add this bicone to that ring on the charm bracelet. And then just close that loop. And I have a couple more bicones to go on here. So I've already got some pre-made too. So I have my 6mm light peach. I have my 5mm silk, and then I have got my 4mm light peach AB. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a silk one, the 5mm, and I'm going to open it to the side. And I'm going to put it on the same ring that this other bicone's on, but I'm just going to put it on the other side just so that there's dangles kind of on both sides of the bracelet. And then I'm going to pick up a 4mm and I'm going to attach it to that same ring. And I'm going to just put it here on the same side as the 5. If you prefer to have all your bicones on one side, that's totally fine. They don't have to be spaced out on different sides. They kind of roll around anyway. So I just thought it might be nice to have a few on the other side. So this is pretty much the basic pattern of my bracelet. Now I'm going to skip another loop here on my charm bracelet, and I'm going to add a second chaton. So I'm just going to grab the jump ring in the same fashion as earlier, grabbing one side and pulling it towards me and one side away from me to open it up. I'm going to slide on the loop of the bezel, and then I think I'm just going to put it on this other side here. And then go ahead and close it. So then this way, when your bracelet's sitting, you have some that are on one side and some that are on the other. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and skip a loop again, and then this next ring here, I'm going to go ahead and put one of each of the bicones on there. So I'm just going to repeat this pattern until I get to the end of the bracelet. So I'm going to finish that up and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and I finished my charm bracelet here. And just to kind of go over the pattern again, it rotates between the chaton and the bezel and bicones. So you'll go to the 4th jump ring in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll put your bezel with the chaton on there, skip a ring, and then go to the next ring, and that's where you put your 3 bicones. So you'll have a 6mm light peach, you'll have a 5mm silk, and then there will be a 4mm light peach AB. And then I just went ahead and I put a couple bicones on one side and then one on the other. And then you skip a ring, and then it's a chaton, skip a ring, and the jump rings. And you just continue on down until you get to your last chaton, and then you have 3 rings on this end. So it's a really cute, fun little bracelet in a really soft kind of pastel colors. So now that that is done, I'm just going to go ahead and just going to latch it there, and I'm going to set that off to the side. And now I'm ready to make the little matching earring for this. And the earring for this set Uses the same Chaton in the bezel, just like we did for the bracelet. So I went ahead and I've already got these ones glued in. And then we're just going to make a simple loop link with a 6mm light peach and a 4mm silk bicone. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take an eye pin and I'm going to slide on the 4mm bicone first. Bring it down, and then I'm going to do the 6mm bicone. And so now I just need to make a simple loop on the other end of this eye pin. And again, you just want to make sure that the loop is going to be big enough to go around the loop on your bezel here. Because it's kind of chunky, not super chunky, but just make sure you don't make your loop too small. So again, the same fashion that I made the simple looped dangles for the bracelet, I'm just going to put my thumb above that last bead and bend over the wire at a 90-degree angle there. And then you're going to take your wire cutters and you're going to cut the majority of that off, just leaving enough of a tail there to turn a simple loop. Take your round nose pliers and you're going to grab just at the tip, making sure that's not poking through, and then you're just going to go ahead and roll it back into a simple loop. And then if you have to kind of adjust it so it sits nice and straight on there, just go ahead and do that. And you'll want your loops, you'll want them facing opposite directions so that your earring sits nice in your ear. So sometimes you can just take two chain nose and make sure that they're going in the opposite direction there. And then I'm going to open this bottom loop here that we just made by moving that to the side. I'm going to slide on the loop for my little bezel that has the Chaton already in it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just close that loop in the same fashion, just bringing it back. And then on the other end there, I'm going to take my ear wire in the same fashion as just opening and closing a simple loop. You're just going to move the loop to one side, and then I'm just going to slide that top loop, making sure that the bezel is facing forward onto there, and then just go ahead and close that. And there you have those cute little matching earrings that go with your Just Peachy bracelet. You can find all the products and tools for this inspiration design at fusionbeads.com.